Welcome Trinidad and Tobago to our News 4 report, a product of the Government Information Services Limited and the Ministry of Communications. I'm Nicola Barito. Let's take a look at the headlines. The Prime Minister pledges to do everything necessary to address crime. Inmates at the maximum security prison have the option of a library within the institution. And the latest move by CXC will see secondary school students formally educated in digital media. Thank you for joining us. Prime Minister the Honourable Kamla Persad-Bissassa is vowing to bring back to Parliament the Capital Punishment Bill. This in a bid to clear the way for the resumption of hangings in Trinidad and Tobago. She was speaking at the United National Congress's Monday night forum in Barataria, where she pledged to do everything necessary to address crime.
I give you the assurance again, we will never give up. We will go back to Parliament with the Capital Punishment Bill again. And we will call on you, and we'll call upon the people of our country to call upon the opposition to give support to it when it is brought back.
The Prime Minister pledging her commitment towards eradicating crime by going back to Parliament with the Capital Punishment Bill, which was defeated in the House of Representatives, with the 11 PNM MPs voting against the bill, while the 29 government MPs voted yes. The bill required 31 votes, at least 2 PNM votes, to be passed. Mrs. Persad-Bissassa says the arrangement with soldiers working alongside police officers has proven successful thus far. She also expressed optimism that the Defence Amendment Bill, which is critical in the fight against crime, will get the support it needs in Parliament.
The soldiers working alongside the police are making her community safe, that she can now sleep at night. She said the soldiers were not killing machines, but honest, polite and courteous. And that's from a lady who lives in an area that some people have called killing fields. Now the killings are being stopped and she can sleep in peace, all because of the partnership, soldiers and police working together hand in hand. And so with our soldiers as part of our security forces, we will be able to launch an assault on crime, to take back our communities and replace your fear with safety.
Plans are also being revealed to make owning a home for citizens in this country more affordable. The Prime Minister is announcing a zero down payment, low interest payment plan for qualified first-time home owners.
Our Cabinet has decided to make it possible for persons earning less than $8,000 a month to go in to buy their first home with a zero down payment, zero down payment, zero down payment, and a 2% interest rate for homes up to $450,000.
Vuna Barath, News 4.
In other news, inmates at the maximum security prison now have the option of a library within the institution. The library was launched and it gives inmates a chance to learn and be entertained and also informed and to move beyond their circumstances upon release. Minister of Justice and the Minister of Education were on hand for the ribbon-cutting ceremony for this auspicious occasion.
With this new establishment, their aim is to ensure that prisoners have better learning skills than when they entered prison. A glimmer of hope, as songs of thanks and praises echoed from behind the walls of the maximum security prison in Arouca, Port of Spain. Just like his fellow inmates, he too is grateful for this new initiative, the launch of the prison library. Minister of Justice Christlyn Moore and Minister of Education Dr. Tim Gopi Singh were on hand for the ribbon-cutting ceremony of this new recreation. The prison service continues to build positive partnerships with other government ministers or agencies to correct, to protect, to relate, to reintegrate and to restore. And on this occasion, the National Library and Information System Authority, NALIS, in collaboration with the prison service, has earmarked upon the establishment of library facilities within the prison institutions.
Inmates have been trained as library attendants and employed within the NALIS community, efficiently operating the various libraries within the prison environment. It would be remiss of me if I did not mention that two inmates, Gujadat Supersad and Hendrik Ilar, were trained and are presently employed at the Maximum Security Prison Library.
It is said that a library has the capacity to change lives. Well, with the experience and encounter from this new library, it will certainly create lifelong learners from this community. In the quest to change the lives of those who have unfortunately run afoul of the laws of the land, those committed to the prison now have an opportunity to access information by pursuing available literature to assist in their educational as well as recreational pursuits. Delivering remarks at the event, Minister of Education Dr. the Honorable Tim Gopi Singh urged all inmates to take very serious and dedicated interest and advantage of these resources provided.
When people ask why dedicate so much time, resources and effort to people who have been punished for breaking the law, we must tell that it is because human rehabilitation is the only hope and promise of any society, and especially a society like ours which aims at progress and development and human capital development. And you, our inmates, are still on our radar for continuing development for yourselves.
Minister of Justice, the Honorable Chrislyn Moore, hailed the opening of the library as a great escape.
So NALIS has in effect brought a mechanism of escape to the maximum security prison. Now, and I say escape for this reason. In changing your life and in transforming your life, an objective of libraries everywhere, one must first have his imagination sparked. And I know of no greater incendiary device to one's imagination than books. So that for most people, books are their first means of escape from whatever prison they find themselves in. Books spark the imagination, books spark dreams, books spark visions, books ultimately put you on a course which can change your life. So for bringing escape to the maximum security prison, I must commend NALIS and the Minister of Education. The question is though, will you take the means of escape afforded? This is a challenge that must go out to all inmates of this facility and to all other facilities where there are libraries and where there are books.
Through this initiative of the new library, they believe that every single person deserves a first, second and third chance at making a decent, law-abiding life. Joseph Lopez, News 4.
News 4 continues after the break. Stay with us.
Never leave items like MP3 players, portable DVD players, laptops and briefcases on view inside your vehicle. It is an open invitation for a thief. Don't leave them on show. If you cannot take them with you, place them in the trunk of your car. Remember, crime prevention is everyone's business. A message from the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service.
Local and foreign investors are hailing the signing of the PDA, one that has great potential, and commends government for the initiative. Energy Minister, the Honorable Kevin Ramnarine, says the project can also change the use of energy products, or that should be the use of energy products, here in Trinidad and Tobago.
The latest signing of the project development agreement is a signal push towards greater diversification of the oil and gas sector. While the project is the second largest to take place in this country, following the establishment of the LNG pipeline in 1995, the dimethyl ether production plant hails a new turn in the application process of Trinidad and Tobago's natural resources. Energy Minister Kevin Ramnarine says such a project will be supported by natural gas reserves, as outlined in recent exploration discoveries.
DME is also significantly more environmentally friendly than diesel, as it produces no particulates, little or no oxides of sulfur, and low CO2 emissions. As such, vehicles running on DME have been introduced already in China, Japan, and Sweden. Existing vehicles can be retrofitted to achieve compatibility, providing another option for the local automotive market and a potential answer to the pressing question of how the fuel subsidy can be gradually removed without placing excessive financial strain on the motoring public. The Ministry of Energy and the NGC are already in dialogue with an established natural gas supplier in Trinidad and Tobago, who has advised that they could have this gas available by 2016. I would also add that you would have noted too that last year, the Ryder Scott audit for 2011 demonstrated that our proven reserves remain essentially flat. The ministry is now engaged with Ryder Scott for the 2012 audit, and we expect that the results for 2012 would be impacted in a positive way by BP's discovery of 1 trillion cubic feet of natural gas in its Savinet 4 well last year.
Dimethyl ether is a form of liquefied gas that can be made from natural gas or from other raw materials such as coal or biomass. The project has received high praise from local private sector partners, Neil and Marcy Holdings Limited. Gervais Warner, Chief Executive Officer at the company, says there was more than what meets the eye with this project and explained the potential derivatives from the process.
We think the DME can be a cheaper and cleaner solution to some of the fossil fuels that they're using to burn to generate energy in those countries today. So those are three applications of DME. The other part of this project is that you know I think is worth mentioning is another compound called monoethyl glycol. Now that doesn't sound very sexy or interesting, but MEG, as we refer to it, is a really interesting product because MEG can lead you to some downstream manufacturing projects like coolants for the motor vehicle industry, can lead you to PET resin, and Lord knows how much PET we make here in this country alone, but certain other manufacturing downstream industries, and acrylonitrile is another one, also leads to very exciting downstream industries in acrylic fibers, enhanced oil recovery, and other very lucrative potential manufacturing opportunities downstream.
State-owned energy agency National Gas Company is a key player in the project. Rupchan Chedi Singh, chairman at NGC and the National Energy Corporation of Trinidad and Tobago Limited, says this country will be positioned as a major global player in the manufacture of DME.
Given the infant stages of this market, Trinidad and Tobago is poised to be the leader in the application of this product outside of China. Because of this strategic move to enter the world of DME, we are therefore positioned to benefit as the first mover in the region.
As a result of the project, the current Labre port will be highlighted as one of the main areas for upgrade to facilitate the boost in trade.
This port could also serve as a logistics hub for our expansion into the deep water and for oil exploration in Guyana, Suriname, and French Guyana. This is yet another project of the NEC. Both Galeota and Labre are therefore parts of a larger vision where we as a country prepare to compete for the industrial future. Ports and industrial estates, as history tells us, are precursors to economic expansion and the development of cities.
Kimberly Ram-Calawan, News 4.
The Caribbean will be on par with other continents in grasping opportunities of the digital age. The latest move by CXC will see secondary school students formally educated in digital media.
The Caribbean Examination Council, in its forward thinking, is seeking to formally prepare students for a world of digital media. This, as the Council is currently putting systems in place to have secondary school students educated in digital media and then tested at CXCE levels. Trinidad and Tobago has been selected as the pilot country for such an initiative that is a first, especially in the Caribbean. Speaking to News 4, Measurement Officer at the Caribbean Examinations Council's Barbados head office, Mr. John Andor, explains why CXC chose to make the facilitation of this program a priority.
Today, digital thinking has almost taken over the whole world. From children to adults, everybody is applying digital tools. So CXC felt that it's only necessary, or it will be fair, to formalize this knowledge and bring it in line with our CAPE offerings. And we feel young people will be interested. Those who have been to secondary school, those who want to aspire to higher learning in the sixth form and the universities, will have something more formal to follow. They'll be able to develop minor apps and so on, and get certificates for it, be assessed formally, as is done everywhere in other parts of the world today. We feel that in the Caribbean context also, we can formalize the digital knowledge to take care of our local environment.
CXC recently facilitated a local workshop where teachers were privy to the program's Unit 1 and Unit 2, which were drafted by CXC. Following the workshop, a sample group of students took the pilot multiple choice examinations, which would have tested their current knowledge of digital media. The results of which were to provide CXC with data feedback that would see the alteration of questions and course material.
Testing students in a digital environment has not been done very much before in this area. So on Saturday, CXC is taking up that responsibility of testing, of having a pilot, as we call it, to see how the students will react vis-a-vis the questions, what problems we are likely to encounter, and then to inform the final examination in future.
The examination will be provided digitally without the use of traditional pen and paper. Following the success of the pilot and final approval by CXC, the syllabus will be implemented in secondary schools, thereby giving birth to a digital media educated population.
This is a very unique opportunity. There is I don't know, I've worked in exam boards in Africa for 15 years, in UK for 9 years, and in Caribbean this is my 3rd year. I have never seen this kind of innovation before, where students are taking exam digitally, without question, without paper, without pen. It is so wonderful. It is putting the Caribbean on a higher pedestal.
Nikolai Edwards, News 4.
When we come back, TT Pro League action.
Dads aren't the only ones who beat up on kids. Sometimes kids beat up on kids.
Every child has the right to be protected from violence, abuse, and neglect.
Because I shouldn't be afraid to go to school or play with my friends.
Because no child should be hurt by adults or by other children.
Because safety is my right. Stop the bullying. Unite for children!
The TT Pro League stuck to its commitment to continuously honor its outstanding achievers when they hosted an awards ceremony for both the 2010-2011 and 2011-2012 seasons at the Capitol Plaza in Port of Spain on Monday. Wayne Cunningham was at the gala event and he has the details in this report.
Pro League CEO Dexter Skeen was a proud man at the Dual Awards presentation for the last 2 seasons.
It's about you, the players. It is about a celebration. It is about rewarding what you have done. It is about you, the players, because you make it possible. It is about you, the coaches. And without you, it would not be possible. You are the ones who train day in, day out, sweat, blood, and tears, literally, at times, to make this product what it is. And I want to tell you that I, as the CEO, I'm very proud of what you are doing and continue to do for not only the TT Pro League, but Trinidad and Tobago football in general.
The ballroom at the Capital Plaza was oozing with pride as the Youth Awards for 2011 were presented. W Connections, Debbie Ann London, copped the first major award, which was the Youth Administrator of the Year. She also took that award for the 2012 season. Her club took the under-13 and under-15 divisions, with Joe Public FC winning the under-17s. The leading goal scorer was Yafio Rouget of Connection with 25 goals. In 2012, the under-14 was won by San Juan Jablote, with St. Anne's Rangers taking the under-16s and W Connection the under-18s. Amongst the seniors for 2010-2011, St. Anne's Rangers was adjudged the most disciplined team. The leading goal scorer was Devon Jostling, who wore the Caledonia AIA colours in that season. The outstanding referee for both seasons, Neil Brizan, with Dion Neal and Cindy Mohammed taking the best assistants, and Norris Ferguson, along with Boris Punch, the best match commissioners. The number 1 team administrator for both seasons was Raymond McLean of W Connection. The league champions and team of the year was the Defence Force, with their coach Russ Russell taking top honours amongst his peers. Paul Regis and Frank Seeley were the recipients of Long Service Awards, while Angus Eve, Dean Pacheco, and Earl Jean got Lifetime Achievement Awards. In 2011-2012, W Connection was the most disciplined outfit. The Defence Force duo of Devon Jostling and Richard Roy were joint top scorers. The league champs were the Savannetta Boys, with Caledonia AIA taking the Team of the Year prize on the merit of their 4 titles. Their head coach, Jamal Shabazz, copped the Coach of the Year prize. The big prizes on the night were the Player of the Year titles for both seasons. For the winners, a spanking new Toyota Yaris, courtesy Toyota, Trinidad and Tobago Limited. Wayne Cunningham, News 4 Sports.
When we come back, we tell you about the Aquaphonics program. Stay with us. Graduates are now on the way to a brighter future. This as they successfully completed Level 1 of the Aquaphonics program. The graduates received for the first time CVQ certification for this program from the Ministry of Food Production.
This new thrust of farming system, aquaphonics, will make a difference in Trinidad and Tobago with regards to poverty alleviation in communities. Graduate Ms. Ria Balgobin spoke about her experience.
Now, the Ministry of Food Production, Agriculture Now Retraining Unit, that's the unit that is based right on this compound, facilitated this training for 6 weeks. And as I said, the training was done right on this compound, as you all will take a walk later on, get a tour and see all that we did. And we, the participants, are being awarded for the first time, as Dr. Ali said, a CVQ, which is Caribbean Vocational Qualification Level 1. And this is being awarded by the National Training Agency.
Other graduates spoke about how beneficial the program is and how it will affect the business of agriculture in this country.
When you compare to the aquaponics system is much cheaper than the grow box system itself. And with regards to the environment, with pollution, with the grow box system, you have much more runoff with your pesticides and fertilizer than the aquaponics system.
Aquaponics has been around for quite some time. However, it is now coming to the forefront via the ministry. and it's been available as a viable option to most householders.
Speaking at the graduation ceremony, MP for Couva South, Rudy Ndarsingh, hailed the Ministry of Food Production for this initiative.
When the budget presentation of 2013 was read by the Minister of Finance and the Economy Senator, the Honorable Larry Hawaii, there was a commitment in that budgetary statement when he indicated that we propose to reduce our food import bill by 50%, or just over $2 billion.
He says this system will work well in schools where space is limited.
I want to challenge the Ministry of Food Production to work with the 41 members of Parliament throughout the length and breadth of Trinidad and Tobago so that this concept could become an integral part of your outreach program as you continue to place the development of the agricultural sector on the front burner in terms of the diversification of the economy of Trinidad and Tobago.
In January, Minister of Food Production, the Honorable Devant Maharaj, said agriculture in schools will get a boost with the launch of this aquaponics program. Minister Maharaj had said that agricultural programs in schools have declined and only a handful of schools have food production and practical exercises in agriculture as part of their curriculum. This program involves rearing of fish and will eventually be expanded to include organic manures produced from the fish project for use in a vegetable hydroponics project. Minister Maharaj said his ministry's renewed thrust into schools came after he spoke with farmers who said they were disappointed that agriculture was losing significance in the nation's schools. Joseph Lopez, News 4.
And that's how we wrap up this edition of our News 4 report, a product of the Government Information Services Limited and the Ministry of Communications. I'm Nicola Barito. Thank you for joining us.